That's right, Lou. Good morning. We will all never forget walking down the street in March during the shutdowns and seeing businesses look like this, closed and empty. Well, the White House Coronavirus Task Force wants more restrictions in place for Florida, but there are no moves on that as of right now. But some people say that they just won't survive. Their businesses won't make it if there are more restrictions. Others argue it's people who won't make it either.
This would be a financial disaster for our business, our families, and for our employees.
Mary Jane Coolhan is the owner of Coolhan's Irish Pub. Her business was hit hard by the shutdown last year.
Income went down 50%. Our sales got 80% reduction here at the Southside location because everything closed down around us.
Taking a look at where Florida stands compared to other states, some, including New York and California, are not allowing indoor dining. Many states, Massachusetts, Illinois, and Colorado, to name a few, are only allowing gyms to open at 25% capacity or less. Department of Labor data shows Florida's unemployment rate is double what it was a year ago, just over 6% for December. That's more than 600,000 Floridians out of a job. The leisure and hospitality industry hit the hardest. Put this way, from February to April last year, Florida lost more than 1 million jobs and has since gained back more than half of those. So we really dug into the data with unemployment, jobs right there. But what about the data with the coronavirus? How many people are dying in Florida every day? We're going to dig into that in the next half hour. I'm Renata Di Gregorio, live in 5 Points. First Coast News on your side.